This is a breakdown of the changes in the patch of July 28. First is new spells added to Majordomus, one of the main bosses from the Make-Believe questline. One is a twin burst of fire, and the other is a physical AoE around him. This is designed so that in close range will do more damage to those that were stacking in platforms, and even if you stay in weight distance, the fire twin burst will hit the shooters, although for less damage than the physical AoE. Next up is a buff on experience to all creatures in the Sky Castle. We already tested this spawn a few days ago, and on the first floor of the Sky Castle, the best XP we got was 16kk raw. And with this 14% increase, we will be sitting at around the 18kk, but with the extra density added, the potential is higher. Or it would have been if it wasn't because of the main issue of the spawn, the devoted versions, which got nerfed from 3k to 2k, making it even worse. In case you don't know how it works, when 2k kills have been done, they turn it into the devoted version for an hour, which are harder creatures that apply Root, Fear, and Hex, making the spawn pretty much unhuntable by the same team, while making Praise useless for the duration. So this spawn is still far from being a viable option. Next up is a nerf to the HP of the new Asura boss from the Shards of a Broken Moon. This was a needed change, and even though the boss is still tedious for a solo fight, it's good to get something to make it a little bit faster. Additionally, the way I recommend to do this boss is to trap yourself behind the pillars and attack the boss there. If you are able to withstand the melee, the fight is easier this way. And when the boss dies on phase 1, it will do a big ice attack before reviving, and you can simply walk away from her. Next up is a buff in density and experience to the Asura Citadel, which is the new area in Marapur from the Shards of the Broken Moon. I tried it out before the changes and it was pretty bad. There was a clear lack of density and the creatures in -2 were hitting too much. Now with these changes, the density and low experience being addressed made it so that it was possible to hunt each floor independently, compared to before where I was doing a mix of both and making 5.5kk raw at most on a level 1500, to now making 6kk on the first floor and 6.7 on the second. That's still pretty bad coming from my level, and especially when compared to the original True Asura spawn where I do 8.1kk at a much easier difficulty. Lastly, a series of bug fixes. The most important from this list is the fix to mana barrier. Since its introduction, it had a bug where if the damage taken exceeded your HP and mana pool, you will be left at 1 HP, effectively giving you a brief moment to react in most cases. This was clearly not working as intended and made barriers seem a lot more broken than it should have been. Next up is the option to trigger echo raids by right-clicking on them instead of walking on top. This is a fix to some raids that couldn't be triggered sometimes, and a bug fix on the fight against Phosphorus, the final boss of Make Believe, that was making the client freeze or lag, seems to have been fixed.
Right.
What am I doing?
I lag, I froze.
No goody.
Yeah, the stream crashed.
I mean, I'm straight up frozen, like screen froze.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, keep the boss.
What the?
Call out the.
I
spread
love
out.
it.
How's west of me?
Curse, west.
That's all relevant to this patch update, and although I don't promise to make these kind of videos for every patch they release, let me know if you got feedback on it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one.